You can see my shirt. That's it. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Hi everyone. Welcome. Thank you guys so much for coming back to Live, Breathe, Beat Desmoid Tumor. Brianna here, your desmoid tumor survivor and coach for your life encouragement. First, I just want to say thank you for all of you who have been following my story. Thank you for continuing to tune in. In case you haven't caught on by now, I upload new videos every Friday at noon. Right now, we are in the season of She Named It Trevor. Before we move on today, I would like to remind you that right now we are doing Running for Answers, which is the Desmoid Tumor Research Foundation's 5K run walk fundraiser that they have annually. We usually have it every fourth Sunday in September. However, this year, because of COVID-19, it's all virtual. So if you are at all interested in getting information, you can go to dtrf.org or runningforanswers.org. However, if you would like to donate on my behalf, you can go to my fundraising page, follow the link below, which will take you there, and feel free to donate to #TeamBree or on behalf of #TeamBree. So, now that that's all said, preliminaries out of the way, we're going to, I mentioned TPN quite often, total parental nutrition. So what I would like to do today is give you an insight into what the setup for TPN was like for me. So we're going to take a look at a video that shows me getting hooked up to TPN. It's a fairly lengthy video, so some sections will just fast forward some to shorten it a little. But basically you'll see me go through the process of hooking up to TPN. Take a look.
This here is the process of getting Brianna's TPM prepared. TPN, sorry. You see that needle right there that she is inserting into the tube that is vitamins to help with her bones and stuff. And this one here, what is that one?
The vitamins, they're both vitamins.
Oh, they're both vitamins. And they have to be inserted into the TPN prior to her applying. And then the other process, this is Angelique. She is kneading it, so to speak, meaning mixing up all the vitamins in it, making sure that they're well mixed and infused in the TPN mixture. And as you can see, because these are needles that she's dealing with, those particular ones, she has to have this special needle container that holds all things with needles. See, she's putting the she is spiking the TPN package. Has to be pushed in very thoroughly so it doesn't have a possibility of it to come out.
Can you push it?
As you see, Angelique is holding it up in order to purge it. It's better to manually priming. I'm sorry. It's better to manually prime it before attaching it to the.
It was just easier. It takes less time.
Right. It's a time-consuming, a time-saving process.
To prime it prior to. As you can see, she's letting the waste go into to just a little bit that come out, go into a plastic container. It's all part of it. And this process is basically done every 12 hours. This is her life-sustaining formula. Okay. Now she's going to attach the unit that controls the flow. This unit, we'll turn that around so you can see. This unit here is supplied by Home Services Solutions. It is pre-programmed for each patient. Okay. It is supplied with a battery. The battery must be installed. It goes through a setup process. As you can see, she has to make sure that it's pressed down tight. And there's a little coin to turn the lock. And a little tip from the nurses. Take the coin on the back of the instrument so that you don't have to search for anything, which turns out to be very good. Now the TPN is going to go through. And you can see the Home Solutions supply.
Very stylish backpack that comes in a color that can match everything. Okay, so you see it. That's the TPN. And this is the preparation process that has to be done every 12 hours. And you see she's holding the tip. I'm going to hold that tip up. This is the tip that goes into, it has to be cleaned after she removed the cap. Oh, that part has to be cleaned. As you can see, she is cleaning that. Have to do it for at least 30 seconds with an alcohol wipe. Then she has to purge it, flush it again with the...
I'm flushing for the first time.
Oh, this is
the other way.
Oh, this is her TPN line, so it's being flushed for the first time with her saline solution. And Angelique has previously prepped them by making sure that there is no air in it. And she's taking the cap off. You notice that she's not touching the top at all. Turn it on tightly. As of now, the thing is clamped. She's preparing to open the clamp and turning on the machine.
So that day, I have recorded that it was June the 5th, which is my sister's birthday. The one who was in the film sitting on the couch helping me, and that's my sister. She's the one that named the tumor Trevor. And it was her birthday, apparently, according to the date on the video. It was her birthday when we were doing that. And that was a process that I went through every day since I had left the hospital back in May after my first round of chemo. Because I could not eat and I could not drink. And so the only way for me to maintain life, okay, was through my veins. Now, because the tumor is in my stomach, it's pressing on my stomach. It's in my abdomen. It's pressing on my stomach. It's pressing down on my digestive tract. There's no way for me to get food, nourishment into me. The doctors did at first think, well, let's put a feeding tube in her, but then they realized that that wasn't going to make any sense because of where they would have to place the feeding tube would have been in like through the tumor or right under it. So they did think about that. They were like, well, let's just give you a feeding tube so that at least you can eat, and then basically we'll just empty your stomach through the feeding tube. So that got canceled out. I mean, I didn't need any more surgeries than was necessary. I didn't need any more procedures than was necessary. So I'm very thankful that they decided that that was probably not the best idea. And so obviously my next option is TPN, which they started right away. And I think the one thing I remember the most about TPN was how frustrating it was to carry around the TPN. I mean, listen, yes, this is keeping me alive. This is giving me a little bit of strength, a little bit of energy. It's sustaining me. But man, oh man, 12, 16, 14 hours a day having to carry around this backpack. I mean, at first we did it at night so that I wouldn't have to carry it around all day. But then the problem was I was peeing all the time. Just peeing. I just could not. It would be like every hour on the hour I had to get up and go to the bathroom to pee because of all the fluid. So then we were like, okay, let's switch it to the daytime. This way, you know, you can at least enjoy the evening and sleep through the night without having to get up all the time to go to the bathroom. So we did do that eventually. But as you can see in the video, my stomach is fairly large. I have lost weight at the time. I'm going to look back again at my mom's notes that she has here. And I'm using this as a timeline, really. So I mentioned that the video was taken June the 5th. I believe it was. And I actually have another video, which I probably won't get to today. I might do that for the next video, is my second vlog. My second vlog video that I did. And I didn't even remember that one. I was very glad I came across that footage. So that we'll probably save for next week. But my mom, as I mentioned, took notes in her calendar, and I've recorded those notes down to take a look at just to kind of help with the timeline of things. So let's see. I was getting TPN delivered to the house, and I, for the most part, in the beginning at least, did all the hooking up. I connected myself to the TPN until it got to the point where I had to get up super early to do it, and I was losing more weight, getting weaker and weaker. So then my mom took it over, and she would hook me up 6 o'clock in the morning. So let's see, she writes that on June the 11th is when my second round of chemotherapy would start. Now, I guess this is probably a good place for me to tell you guys this story. The story of Tina. In the video, I'm wearing a green shirt, and I noticed that on the chair that I'm sitting in is my jean jacket, and that specifically triggers my memory because I was wearing that exact same thing when my mom and I went out that day. It had to be that day. Because I was on TBN, I was wearing that green shirt, and I remember having on that denim jacket. My mom wanted to get out of the house to go to a store. And so while we were out, I'm like, Mom, you know what? After the first round of chemo, by this time it's June, so it's been a couple weeks, I'm feeling the effects of it. So my hair has thinned, but it's not so thin that it doesn't, that I look like there's like nothing on my head. But it's thin enough to the point where I'm not comfortable wearing it out. So I always keep scarves on and things of that sort, just keep my hair braided up into braids. So I'm like, Mom, well, is it all right, you know, while we're out, if I get a hairpiece, a wig, so that I'll have something to put on for, like, you know, the days I feel up to going to church or what have you. So we went to the store. Following that, we went into the hair store within the same mall. And the young lady that helped me, she helped me with my wig. She placed it on. She styled it up. I mean, I'm leaving the hair store looking fabulous, okay? She did mistake me for being pregnant, you know. She was like, oh, congratulations. And yeah, I let her know, like, it's not a baby, it's a tumor. I guess she felt, I can't say how she felt, but she didn't feed into it. She just was like, well, I'm due, you know, at such and such a time, and I'm having a boy, I can't wait, and all this kind of stuff. I think people, you know, when you say, like, it's not a tumor, I mean, it's not a baby, it's a tumor, it's like, ooh, they don't know what to say. So anyway, some people at least don't know what to say. So we leave from the hair store. This hair that I have on is just nice. It's wavy, and she, you know, gelled down my edges and got them all swoopty whooped and stuff. And I'm leaving here, the hair look like it's mine. So it's coming out of my scalp and it's coming down, and it's nice, right? I have on my backpack of TPN, and my mom, before we leave, she's like, I really want to stop to Chick-fil-A. Do you mind if we stop? I'm like, sure, Mom, whatever, let's stop. I didn't want to get out the car to go inside, but my mom would not let me stay in the car. She's like, no, I need to see you. So we go in, both of us. Mind you, like, I love Chick-fil-A. I can't even eat it, and you want me to go into the store? Selfish. I love you, Mom. I do. So anyway, she wasn't being selfish. She just didn't want me to stay in the car by myself. So we go in the store, my mom orders, and I'm waiting. As I'm waiting, I decide to go and pick up, like, her napkin and condiments and stuff like that from the little condiment section. You know, napkins, straw, whatever. This guy, don't get me wrong, he was handsome. He was a little bit short for my taste, but he was handsome. He comes over and he says, oh, congratulations. And I'm like, I would say thank you, but I'm not pregnant. It's actually a tumor. And I thought that would, you know, make him be like, oh, I'm so sorry, and then walk away. No, this guy is like, oh, okay. So, can I get your number? And I'm like, you can't really be serious right now. Like, in my mind, I'm like, you can't really. I just told you that I'm not carrying around a child. I'm carrying around a tumor, and you proceed. So I try my hardest to be like, no, sorry, you know, I don't want to give you my number right now. Like, I'm not in the condition to be, just no. I try in so many ways to say no. I'm like literally walking out the door, continuing to be like, no, I'm not giving you my phone number. And he is persistent. So I'm like, all right, whatever, fine. I finally give him my phone number because he will not leave me alone. Give him my phone number. At some point, he does call me. And we had one conversation. And at another point, he called me again. And the second conversation was our last conversation. Because I let him know that, well, soon I'll be going back into the hospital for my second round of chemo. And he's like, oh, well, you know what? I might come and pay you a visit. So I'm like, okay. If you do decide to come pay me a visit, that's all fine and dandy, but just don't expect to see Tina. And he's like, who's Tina? I'm like, Tina is the wig that I had on when you met me. He's like, you mean to tell me you don't have no hair under there? I'm like, I have hair, but it's falling out at the moment because I've had one heavy duty round of chemo and I'm about to have another one. So, you know, I can't make any promises. Y'all, after that conversation, I never heard from that guy again. again. And to this day, for me, it's a laughing moment because at the time I'm like, listen, I don't have time for anybody that's gonna be, you know, here one day, going the next because they decide that they can't deal with the situation that I'm in. So for anybody that came along around that time, I let them know from the rip, like, what's happening to me right now is very real, and if you can't deal with it, then I suggest you move on, okay? Because I won't be the one for you. And that's the story of Tina. I tell it all the time because it cracks me up. Like, it really does. It cracks me up. I straight did not hear from him ever again. Ever again. I tell you, life. Well, that's it for today, my beautiful, brave people. I tell you, you gotta find something to laugh at. You got to. Until next time, be brave, stay beautiful, keep your head up, stay strong, keep moving, believe God, He will work for you. Thank you again for joining me. Leave your comments, your questions. I will get to them. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Toodles! Mwah.